Today we're doing something pretty special. We are going to be doing a world tour of our series. So we are on episode 25 right now. We've actually done quite a lot of things in 25 episodes, I must say. we have acquired a lot of things and done a lot of things in general. So yeah, I think the way we're gonna start off today's episode is in here. But before we start a world tour, let me remind you, if you want to see more Minecraft content from my single player series, redstone videos, building videos, or even a Hypixel and just regular multiplayer videos, this is the channel for you. So yeah, please hit that subscribe button and let me just show you what we've done so far. So in this world tour, from spawn in episode 1, which is in that direction, I straight away walked north. I believe it's north in this direction, yes. And in north I found this plains biome, and that's where, since day 1, I decided to settle in. Some of these chests in here are ready from day 1, never been destroyed or anything. I mean, I can destroy them now, but what's the point? So this is also a starter base which I built in episode 3. You might see some text on the bottom which will say what episode it is, so I don't have to mention it every single time. So yeah, it's right next to this lake. We also put our nether portal over here in episode 3. There's still a lot, some items still in bulk, like I still have a lot of bamboo in here. So in our starter base we have our one and only dragon egg, original enchant setup, still some enchanted books in here left, so yeah, as you can see, a little bit of lapis. And yeah, also a few mending books, and there's an iron golem over there. That's pretty interesting. And also some brewing stands with just blaze powder in them. This is a level 100 iron golem. The first time I hit level 100 in XP, I actually hit by accident level 101. So I just named this guy to be level 100. I think that was like episode 9 when that happened. So my two pets in here, I have a dog right there, and Julius the second. So yeah, Julius being one of my friends. I actually named this dog Saidu, also being one of my friends from school. That was probably around in the beginning of the series. So let's kind of move on across this village which I've kind of built out here. So as you can see, personally I feel like my skill has progressed. So this is basically pretty simple. Like, I haven't really done anything there. I think this is not even my build. I think this is my brother who just built this AFK fish farm. So yeah, that wasn't really something that I could be really proud of, but anyway, let's kind of move on. In between episodes I've built this, which I'm actually planning to tear down at one point in an episode, in this series. I mean, there's a lot of hoppers which I actually will find pretty useful, and it's just as you know, 1.16 actually removed with zero tick mechanics, and I didn't even use that farm all that much past episode 10. So let me go actually in this direction, which brings us to our very first automatic sugarcane farm. Very simple, just observers push sugarcane which falls down, and this is actually pretty slow in my opinion. We made one much better sugarcane farm, but there's still a bunch in here. I still have a bunch left. I actually use my manual sugarcane farm a bit more. So something else about the sugarcane farm, this is like when we got observers, so right after, I think it's in between episodes 3 and 4. So when I got the observers, and that's like the first thing which I did. Another one of my actually most proud builds out of all of this this whole series is probably this. To give you actually a quick fly around, I think, this area, which I think you will enjoy. This is how it looks like, as you can see, as a glass ceiling right there. And there are some other buildings which I'm gonna get to in a second, which came kind of later on in series, like that one and this one. I'm gonna talk about them in a second. So over here, as you will see, is our crop farms, specifically wheat in here and carrots in here. Sometimes I have still collect them, like whenever I AFK for the farm, which is over there, which I'm gonna go to in a second. So in addition to that, this is basically all the storage. So as you can see, quite a lot of carrots, and even more over here. This is just all the wheat which I've collected. This is the wheat seeds, and as you can see more, I even have an ender chest over here, which, as you can see, my food supply is pretty low, so I'm gonna take a stack of golden carrots just in case. The first building which I want to kind of explore right now is this one. This is another one of my proud creations of this world. Probably one of my first like sort of late game farms. It's not really all that late game. It's actually pretty easy to make, but still it's pretty efficient, and as you can see, just from being here alone I gathered several stacks of iron. So yeah, this is an iron farm. To see the actual production of iron and how it happens, we have to go up above. So this was built in episode 9, I believe, when we built the iron farm. So let me just get up here. So as you can see, we have villagers in there, iron golems spawn in here, villagers in there, and then there's a zombie over there. So Dockham's design, I've talked about it quite a bit actually recently. In fact, I actually came back here on the episode 23 to do some achievements. Let's on to the last building of this kind of small city which I had in the beginning of the series, which was my initial villager area. I must say I don't use it all that much nowadays, and it's not even filled. I only have like 3 librarians in here. In fact, but they're pretty good. So I have efficiency 5 in here, unbreaking 3, riptide 3, and quick charge 1, which I don't really see any use in. But then we had our first mending villager, and then I named him Mended Silkly because he also had silk touch, and then afterwards we found out he had affinity. And then Matthew Mending was just a cheaper mending trade, so that's why I took him. So yeah, but this is actually our only unbreaking 3 and efficiency 5 villager in this whole world, so he's actually pretty valuable to us. So yeah, I think this is the whole village. On episode 9 or 10, and between 9 and 10, I've actually beautified this place a little bit. Like, I actually made the paths, I made this outside wall, which actually took a lot of time and resources, a lot of wood, as you can maybe tell. Another interesting thing right here, this is actually a zombie head acquired without channeling. I didn't have a channeling trident at the time. There was just a thunderstorm and I saw a charged creeper, and that's how I got that zombie head. And otherwise that's pretty much it. I had a few more villagers roaming around. Like, I actually have some villagers down in here, and that's actually just my honey collection area. So nothing really. Back in 1.14.4 there was an exploit where you could basically, you can actually still do it, but it takes more effort, and since you can only trade a villager twice a day, it's not as overpowered. So it's basically, you'd place down a bunch of bookshelves. So firstly you'd cure your villagers, secondly you'd place down a bunch of bookshelves, break them all, and then just get infinite emeralds that way. And that's how I got basically my first 3 stacks of emerald blocks, I mean. So yeah, as you can see, just farmers in here. Technically, if I needed golden carrots I would have bought from them, but no, I have enough. So yeah, let's get back up here. Let's go through the nether into our next area, I think. Yep, we're gonna be going into our new base. Alright, as I'm approaching our new area, this is basically all of our nether hub. It has nothing special right now. I think it's gonna be one of our projects after the witch farm, which is right now our current big project. So let's step into this nether portal, which is actually, as you might have seen, marked with mycelium, and you will see why in a second. That's because our current base is in a mushroom island. So let me just sleep right now to demonstrate a little bit more. So yeah, this is basically what I do right now. Everything that is happening beyond episode 11 has been happening in this base basically. Like, this is basically the powerhouse. It's where I grab most of my materials. In fact, actually only like 50% of these chests like are filled. Everything like on the other side, there's nothing in it. But over here, as you can see, there's quite a few materials. Some end city loot right here. Some extra shulkers. In fact, there's more extra shulkers in this one. Yep, even though, as you can see, a lot of shulkers. Even though fire rockets, I actually could use that. Firework rockets, I meant to say. And as you can see, I have my ender chest in here. A lot of things in this place. That's basically my storage system. These are like the first 4 beacons which I got in this world. That's kind of like a puddle where I convert concrete. This is another thing which I built in episode 11, and it's another one of those XP farms, as you might have saw earlier in this episode. So I made a second one basically, which was meant to be more overpowered, but actually caused a little bit of problems. But something you might know is that completely backed up with cactus, like almost fully backed up. Like this is like the only hopper which doesn't have any cacti in it. And I actually stole a bunch of hoppers in here because I needed hoppers. Yeah, I'll probably just tear it down afterwards. Not the outside building. The outside building I want to keep, but like all the redstone inside, those are actually pretty useful materials. So something else we can continue on over here. This is actually we're only 2 buildings for a long time between episode 11. Sorry, these 3. This is actually also a creeper farm, but it wasn't decorated like this until episode 22. So yeah, so episode 12 we actually built this creeper farm as well. And as you can see, there's just creepers and spiders as well sometimes raiding from here, but it's actually pretty efficient. There's actually a clay block in there, but I've actually don't spend that as much time as I used to in here. But still, as you can see, gunpowder and more gunpowder and more gunpowder. As you can see, string as well, quite a bit of it. And I still do find string useful, so I kind of just keep the spiders in there. So yeah, those are basically for quite a little bit. So between episodes 12 and 15, that's basically all there was. Until in episode 15, I built basically this villager breeder, which as you can see is very productive, which can actually sometimes affect my frames. And actually convert like that's where I zombified him, because there's a zombie with a sharp 4 or sharp 5 sword. I don't remember exactly, but it's pretty powerful sword. And it leads into this area, which is my villager trading hall, which I built in episode 15. As you can see, we have actually a lot of overpowered villagers. So here we have Infinity, here we have Aqua Affinity. I actually think this one was bugged out at one point, but at 1.16 there shouldn't be that many issues with villagers. So Fortune Free with this guy, and as you can see, I do name them like popular YouTubers who like it's just to show people who I watch. So Grian, El Mango, FitMC, Iskal, Exuma. Oh, this one doesn't have a name. Oh yeah, these 4 don't have a name yet, but I think I'm probably gonna name these afterwards. And initially my plan was people who were on my stream to name these guys, but I don't stream that often anymore. So yeah, that's not what I've done. So yeah, there's still a few empty slots then left, but I'm basically done with the farm. And if you're wondering what these shulker boxes have, it's just my supply of pumpkins and melons, because this leads us to the next area. This, our triple pumpkin and melon farm. I'm actually pretty happy with this. It's a El Mango design. As you can see, quite a lot of pumpkins and melons. And usually what I do when this is like backed up completely, I put everything I have in my inventory in this chest, and then take everything from here, craft it up, and just bring it to the shulker boxes. So that's about it for this area of the villager trading hall and my storage system and stuff. So let's move on a little bit further. So in episode 17, we built this farm, which is actually our kind of more advanced sugarcane farm. It has basically, it should produce around 6 times more actually. Plus, actually, there were some losses with our farm, so maybe 8 times more is actually more accurate. But still, either way, it's pretty productive. So, this is actually by far not all the sugarcane that I have. I actually think I have in my ender chest. That's almost all for the base, except for the elephant in this room, which is actually the largest building of all, the super smelter. So it operates on bamboo and a flying machine over there. That actually I've designed. This is everything in here is my design from my knowledge of redstone. I know it's like concepts of which everyone used, but yeah, there's a flying machine over there which I can activate and deactivate, and it just pushes all the bamboo. Yeah, it all goes into these ferni. As you can see, there's 32 of them. So right now that's all I have to show for the base. I actually don't really know if I'm gonna add that many more things in here. Maybe some small farms like Neverwort farms, but I don't really need any more farms in here. So yeah, this is actually a map of the area. So you can see there's actually also a ravine right there, and this is my initial sugarcane place, which before I built this farm. So as you can see, it's actually the largest farm. You can see it on the map pretty well. So yeah, now let's move on to the next area. Alright, so this is the Nether portal, and you might have guessed already what it was by the sea lanterns, but we're gonna be entering a guardian farm, and you'll see how it operates. So here we approach a guardian farm, And actually, I meant to place a bunch of fishermen villagers in here. I might still do it just to get rid of all of his cod which I have. But this is basically the Guardian farm. This is actually pretty well decorated in my opinion. We have a bunch of things, enchant table. So for a long time this was actually my source of XP. In fact, I can actually, as you can see, there's some of them going down. There's actually one of my only places where I have an automated storage system. So as you can see, quite a few shards and crystals. I usually get rid of crystals pretty easily, but I have quite a lot of it stocked up. Not in my ender chest, it's actually in another chest, but I have quite a lot of stocked up sea lanterns. So unless I really need a lot of sea lanterns, I don't think I'll need that much. So also cod, cod, and more cod, and just we all actually got really little pufferfish and salmon. So yeah, that's it for this farm. If you want to see how it looks on the outside, usually what I do is, like, because you're technically in water here, you could use your trident to get out. But I'm just gonna use my firework rockets. So yeah, that's the farm. You can actually, all you can see right now is just this giant box. So I built this in episode 16, and this is how it looks like. It actually was one of my first big projects. Like, now I have actually done projects which are much bigger, but still, this is like our first big project. And actually, since, let me do something, options, video settings, particles, minimal. It's pretty essential to have minimal particles near this farm because it's pretty laggy because of all this soul sand, like 1,000 something soul sand you have to place at the bottom of this farm. So yeah, it powers pretty well. So yeah, and then they go through lava and take a lot of damage. As you can see, there's quite a lot of guardians right now. So usually I just let all the items be collected, and then I go like, as you can see, we just reach level 50. So yeah, that's basically how to operate this farm. Let's go out of here. In fact, there's a guardian right here. Oh, looks like I was about to say it went from it. Yep, it went from the portal. In fact, sometimes when I use the farm for a pretty long time, there's a lot of guardians which are on the other side of this portal. Alright, so if we're going chronologically with this with these farms, even though we haven't gone quite chronologically, there were two things over there which I built after the guardian farm, the sugarcane and super smelter, but still, it's like the first big farm which I built. You can already see the slabs of 30,000 slabs which I had to place for this farm all went into a Wolver Skeleton farm, and it's actually still it's not as efficient as it used to be, but it's still actually no, there's one thing which made it less efficient, and then there's one thing which made it more efficient than before. So it was never optimal, it was never like extremely good, but I still killed over 1,000 Wolver skeletons of this farm, and I've gotten maybe 15 beacons, which I don't really need much more. Oh, I just heard a Wolver skeleton fall down. I'm just going away and then coming back, hoping that more can spawn. So yeah, as you can see, 3 Wolver skeletons right there. No skulls, unfortunately, but still, you get quite a lot of bones and stuff. You see, just 2 more right there. Sometimes when you come over here, there's just Wolver skeletons, and you always want to smack them. Right. So right now we're stepping in the portal of our raid farm. You have to get Bad Omen, but also this sometimes can happen when you're using the farm, which is pretty funny. And as you can see, actually most of the totems which you saw there are actually a lot of totems in here. I came back to the witch farm. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record that part, so this is actually just going to be myself re-recording the audio of 2 screenshots. So one of them is with super FOV, and then the second one is just with regular FOV. So yeah, we've cleared 250,000 blocks, basically, yeah, just 250,000 blocks flat. We started clearing also some lava and started seeing bedrock. So yeah, hopefully this project can continue on. Yeah, as I said, I'll explain in the video why my OBS is not working. So if you have enjoyed this world tour, see you guys in the next one, and bye.